How to start the Cessna 172 Skyhawk from cold and dark. Our simple startup checklist makes it easy. We'll begin with some important information about the aircraft and then guide you step by step to get it ready for takeoff. Stick around, as we'll wrap up by revealing a little-known fact about the 172 Skyhawk. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. First built in 1955, the Cessna 172 Skyhawk is one of the most popular and reliable aircraft ever made. Loved by flight schools and private pilots, it's known for its simplicity and durability. With its forgiving design, it remains a favorite for both beginners and experienced aviators. How fast does the Skyhawk fly? It lifts off the runway at around 55 knots, making takeoff smooth and easy. Once in the air, it cruises comfortably at 120 knots, ideal for short trips. Landings are gentle and manageable with an approach speed of 60 to 65 knots, perfect for any pilot. How far can it go? With a fuel capacity of 56 gallons, the Skyhawk has a range of around 640 nautical miles. That's plenty for training flights, sightseeing adventures, or weekend getaways without needing frequent refueling stops. The Cessna 172 Skyhawk is simple, efficient, and dependable. Its easy handling, good range, and reliable performance make it a top choice for anyone looking to experience the joys of flying. It's a true classic in the skies. Now let's start up the aircraft. Check that the parking brake is set, ensuring the aircraft remains stationary, safeguarding ground crew and equipment, and providing stability as you go through the startup sequence. Turn on the two master switches. Flip the battery side upward to power the electrical system, and also the alternator for charging the battery. Remember to arm the standby battery in case of an emergency. Check that the two avionics switches is off for now. Flip the fuel selector to use both tanks. Pushing the throttle 1/4 inch forward during engine startup ensures the engine receives an adequate air-fuel mixture for starting. Remember to push the mixture control forward to the full rich position. Turn on the beacon lights to signal engine start and warn others to stay clear. Keep them on until the engines are shut down. Ensure the prop area is clear of people, equipment, and any loose objects. Use the auxiliary fuel pump if it's cold outside. Turn the ignition switch all the way over to start, hold it, and then let it go. At last, turn on your avionics and we are done with the startup sequence. After starting the Cessna 172, confirm that all instruments and gauges are working properly, with engine parameters like oil pressure and temperature in the green. Set the flaps to the takeoff position and adjust the trim as needed. Perform a run-up to check the engine, magnetos, and throttle response. Ensure the flight controls move freely and are properly aligned. Turn on the required lights and set the transponder to the appropriate code. Once you've completed the checks and communicated with air traffic control, you're ready to taxi to the runway for takeoff. Here's the interesting fact you've been waiting for. Did you know the Cessna 172 can glide up to 9 miles without power from just 5,000 feet? Its incredible glide ratio is why it's trusted for emergency training. It's built to keep you safe, even when the engine goes silent. I hope you enjoyed this startup tutorial and found it useful. If there's anything in the startup process that wasn't clear, feel free to drop a comment. I'd love to see you back in future videos, but for now, don't worry about liking or subscribing. Just go start up your airplane and enjoy the open skies. Happy flying.